Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. Today is September 25th, which means it's another December video. So today what I'm doing is showing you how you can use your die cutting machines to make your cards, or use your printer, or your good old scissors. Unfortunately, I had a great video that was all put together showing you how to do the steps, and when I went to take my phone off my stand, nothing had filmed. So I'm just going to go ahead and walk through and tell you what I was told you earlier, and we'll just make this video a lot shorter. So what I did this month is I have a Cricut maker, and I used a feature on there which is called print and cut. So basically what I did was I went on to their website, or Design Space, and I found a couple images that I liked, and then I designed the inside and the outside of my card. And then what I did was I set it up so that it would print through my printer, and then it looks at these registration marks, these black box, and it knows then where to cut. And I set it up so it would cut around the edge, so I didn't have to do that with my trimmer. And all of my cards were the same size. So I'm doing a layered card. So I'm taking an 8.5 by 11 piece of black cardstock, cut it in half, which then made my base card, the front of it, 5.5 wide and 4.25 high. I then cut one layer out of a buffalo plaid red that is 5.25 inches wide and 4 inches high, and then these were set to cut at 5 inches wide and 3.75 high. So that is what I sent to my printer. Now, I printed these from my home printer. It's nothing fancy, but when I had taken the Scrap Smarter class with Tracy Reed, she recommended that I purchase, it is, hang on, let me find it, Printworks Premium Plus white cover stock, and it's an 80-pound weight. And I am finding that a couple of them were printed with my Stampin' Up! Paper, and you can tell that the black ink is kind of rubbing off and smudging a little bit, and whereas this has stayed pretty crisp and white. So I would recommend, if you're going to invest in the paper. This technique you can also use for scrapbooking. Some of the major scrapbooking makers, I believe American Crafts may be one of them, actually sell their designs in digital form. So even if you're not a digital crafter, but you have a Brother Scan and Cut, or you have a Silhouette, or you have a Cricut Maker, if you buy this better paper, print it on any printer, and then you can go ahead and with your scissors or with your machine cut out die cut images using the digital images that you can buy for a lot less than what you would pay for if you bought the already packaged. And this cardstock is a really decent weight, so it's equivalent to what you would find with like something that you would buy from the manufacturer. To me, it feels like the same weight. So that's my first tip for saving a little money. So then what I did was I went and cut all of my card bases. So I took my 8.5 by 11 paper, cut it in half, and folded it. I then put the sentiment on the inside half. So I just wrote on here, wishing you a truckload of joy this holiday season. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. You could ink the edges, you could mat it again, you could embellish on the inside. I'm just, for the sake of the video, keeping it simple, but you can do whatever you want. Another thing to think about is if you are going to put these in the mail, you want to limit the bulk, or you're going to end up with extra postage. So that's one of the reasons that I don't add a lot of extra stuff to my cards. Then on the front, I took the image that cut out, that was again 3 1/4 high by 5 wide. I matted it on this buffalo plaid paper. That is a very thin paper that I got at Hobby Lobby, and that paper is cut at 5 1/4 wide by 4 high, and then stuck to the cardstock. And the last thing I did was I took a piece of grosgrain ribbon that I had in my stash, and using my score tape, I attached the ribbon. Now, if you don't celebrate Christmas, you can do the same technique for making a Hanukkah card or a Kwanzaa card. If you don't celebrate holidays, you know, but you do birthdays, you can make a birthday card using the same print and cut technique. Or get well card, or now with COVID and people not being able to see their loved ones, just a thinking of you card is a great thing that you can do. If you don't have a Cricut or a Silhouette or something like that, you can just go and find an image on Google and then print it out, and then use your like Word software that you have, and be able to put an image on it, write your sentiment, and then cut it out using your 12-inch cutter or your scissors. So you don't have to have a lot of fancy things. Now, if you're going to do it in mass quantity and you don't want to blow through all of your ink, what I would recommend is you can save this as a PDF and send it to your local office supply store. So somewhere like Office Max or Office Depot, some of those offer you a printing option where, and I think maybe even Staples, so that you can send this image off to them. And with the Cricut, as long as it has that black mark, I can go back in later and I can cut out my base, or again use my scissors if I want to try and squeeze more in and just do it with my own 12-inch cutter. But they would then use a laser color printer on a good cardstock if you don't want to print it at home. And for this one I messed up on, but just to give you an idea, with the print and cut feature, you can cut your own dies and use this on a layout. And I stopped it before it finished cutting. But this is a cheap way that you can add embellishments, and you can use them over and over. I know Nicole Jones is selling digital dies. She's doing a lot with like labels and viewfinders and different types of items like that. And again, you can either use your scissors, you can use your die cutting machines, your regular dies that you have. So really consider this as a great way of using the tools that you have in your home. So the cards that I made 4 of them. I made this one here. I made this one. And then I did 2 with the Merry Christmas with the truck. So I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. I really like that farmer market kind of look and the buffalo check, so this worked out great for me. I apologize that I wasn't able to get it on film for you since it kind of didn't appear. But I want to thank you for joining me. Please check out the links down below. It will have the links to everyone who is participating this month, and if you look in past videos, you can also see those who have participated in the past, and check out all their different ideas for different tags, cards, Christmas layouts, December dailies. They're just Christmas related, but again, think outside the box. If you don't celebrate the Christmas holiday, these techniques can be used for any type of scrapbooking that fits your lifestyle. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you're not a subscriber, I would love to have you as one. And if you hit the subscribe button and follow along. And if you liked the video today, please give me a thumbs up. It lets YouTube and others know that you like what you saw. Thanks so much and have a great day.